some things off of Amazon as well. And I have a project, a DIY project that I'm doing. It is a part of my new series called Aesthetically Speaking. And it's about aesthetics. So, but it's a way to be creative with it. It's a way to do it on a budget. And that's one of the main things I really want to push is how can you still be aesthetic, still be aesthetically pleasing. Also, how can you still be creative, and how can you stay saving some money, you know? What I'm going to show you guys, I'm actually going to go out into my back patio area and spray paint, because I'm not sure if these need to be spray painted at least for 24 hours or like kind of set out to dry. So instead of shooting myself in the foot when I try to record and do everything tomorrow, I'm going to go ahead and spray paint these out back now. I'm just going to show you guys what they are. I do have a video where I was unboxing all of my Amazon things and such. But what I was saying prior to this was I'm going to be starting a series here on my channel called Aesthetically Speaking, and it is going to be a QuellaTheCreative original where I will be doing aesthetic looking pieces but adding creative touches to it, as well as staying under a good budget and DIY things that you can do yourself. So of the two first projects that I'm going to do, I will be, you guys can see these bad boys in here. I just ordered these from Amazon. They arrived today, and they are the spice jars. So just the spice jars like this. They come with the silver top as well as the little piece for the seasonings. They came all together, and I got this on Amazon. I can link it below exactly where I got it from. But I got these, and I've already taken all the tops off of them, because I will be spray painting the tops of them black. These are the tops, all in here, kind of like a box of coins. And I ran to Target today, and I purchased some of this Rust-Oleum black. It's 2x Ultra Cover Paint and Primer. It's a semi-gloss black. And I will be spray painting those tops with this black. So I'm actually about to go outside and do that now, because it is starting to get a little dark out there. And also I just want to make sure these don't need to dry overnight, because if they do, then, and I try to do the project tomorrow, they're not going to be ready. So that is what I'll be doing. And then I'll show you guys the other part of this project as well. And then for that, I did purchase some masking tape. And the easiest method for me to do this would definitely be the spray paint method. For this particular project with the spice jars, I'm going to be creating my own labels. I know tons of people on Etsy make them, and you can find them on Amazon, and they run from maybe $15 or lowest upwards $20. And they're just sheets and sheets of labels of different spice names and everything. But I saw some that I liked, and then I saw some that I was just like, I didn't fall in love with all of them. I really did not. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to see if I can do this and make it myself, so make my own labels, which I know I can. I have a specific idea that I'm going to do. I got sketches and everything for it. So I will show you all that as well. And I'm super excited about this project, because this one is going to be really fun. Like, the idea that I have in my brain on how I want these to come out, perfect. Just some full-size label paper. First I was going to get the clear ones, like the clear labeling, but I decided to just go with white because it's easier, issues or problems. It's just like a test project. So if these go pretty well, I'm gonna buy more of these and just continue to print out and do those for the rest of my spice jars. I'm just gonna show you guys some clips of me getting these spray painted, and we will see how it goes from there. just checking in. I know the last clip that you saw was me out on the back patio spray painting the lid. Now what I'm doing is I've got my sketchbook, doing a little bit of sketches for this same project. Well, actually for two of the projects. For the spice labels, the spice jars, I'm doing the different labels and the two different label ideas that I have, and I like to just like etch them out first. But I will show you guys what I mean about this Aesthetically Speaking series. So it's like a spin on, I guess, the things that are aesthetic right now. People love candles, they love branding, there are a lot of things that are aesthetics right now, and I know that's like the hot buzzword. So I have two different ideas for my labels, both versions, because it's not gonna take me long to sketch out, but I wanted to show the inspiration behind it, which are two brands that I admire. I just like their execution, and just like, I don't know how to describe it, but they do a really good job at what they do. And from a graphic designer standpoint, a lot of familiarity with this particular one, because we had to use it all throughout college. We had to learn about it, and we still do it in our jobs today as graphic design and as a career in graphic design. But the next one is a brand that I just really admire, and it's a luxe brand, but I will show you guys and stop rambling. So for one of the labels, I'm going to do the Pantone, and I have been obsessed with Pantone color swatches, Pantone color books, Pantone period, ever since I was exposed to it and I learned about it. And I would say it was like my very first year of college, and I kind of just expanded from there. So I'm going to use their staple, traditional, classic Pantone swatch like design for labels. This is more square, and obviously the labels are more rectangle, so I'll have to do some modifications, but for the most part it'll pretty much look like what it's supposed to look like. For Pantone, I already know the typeface and the fonts that they use, so I already grabbed those, but I will be replicating this. And in place of the Pantone, I'm not sure if I want to put like the name of the seasoning, like if it's lemon pepper, or if I wanted to do like, it says pantry and then it'll say what the seasoning is and the classification of the seasoning. So like seasoning, herb, spice, something like that. But I think in order for, like, obviously the Pantone is bold because it creates hierarchy. So obviously you're supposed to read that first. So I think what I'm going to do is replace the Pantone with the actual name of the seasoning, the spice, or the herb. And then down here, I'll classify it as what it is. This one, I really love the bottles of these ones. Like, these ones are my favorite bottles. Just getting some inspiration from like Etsy and stuff. So I don't copy people's designs or anything, but I just look at it to see, okay, what all do I need to include for these labels to make them look legit, number one. So this one just has like the name of the seasoning, and then obviously it has just seasoning at the bottom. So this one is very, very minimal. And then for this one, it is minimal as well, but as you can see up here at the top, they've got the number, and they got the numbers going across, and then they have like all natural, just a little bit of additions down there. So that's something that you could use, like all natural, organic. I guess those types of words could work. So, like this one, I really love the bottles of these ones. Like, these ones are my favorite bottles. So for these ones, they have the number as well, and then they have the classification, herb, spice, or whatever, and then they have all natural at the bottom, and then they have the number at the top. So most of the labels carry that same format, so I think I'm going to carry that too, just for like consistency purposes and to make it look legit. I'm also going to obviously look at my own pantry and see what's included on there. Like, I know they have the ingredients and stuff on the back, but like, what all is included? You really look at it, you know? And I know this fresh, clean, minimalist look, and I like that too. I like a very clean look. I'm not a big minimalist when it comes to stuff, but the minimalist look is like aesthetic. It's aesthetic right now. And who doesn't love Pantone? Okay, so Pantone was one of the ideas that I have. And the other one I do have, which I'll be using for another project, is this, what I was saying, a luxury brand. So, Maison Margiela. I recently have purchased a couple of their perfumes. And I just love their packaging for their candles, and even it's just carried out in consistency across all of their products. So if you ever felt this candle, like the label, it feels like a linen or like some type of fabric. It feels like a nice, like you can tell they put quality in there. And then even like the font choice that they use, and it has a bit of mix of serif and sans serif, and you got bold, and then you have like very minimal like additions to it. So I want to do this as a label as well. Up here, I'm not sure what I'm going to put. I don't know if I want to put like a different name instead of replica. I could put like, what's another word for replica? I don't know. I can look it up on the thesaurus. But so I would put like spice classification. I'm trying to show this up, my finger getting in the way. Spice classification, and where it says provenance and period. I could just like eliminate some of these. So the description could be like what you use the spice or the seasoning for. It could be just like those little facts that you have. And I'm going to look it up a little bit to make sure it looks legit. But I really do want to do a Maison Margiela and a Pantone kind of idea for my labels. So I have just this sketched. It's literally not anything. I don't even know if my camera is picking it up, but it's literally nothing, just like some boxes sketched out so I can do like for placement and stuff. But I'm going to hop on to Photoshop, a hybrid of Photoshop and Canva tomorrow to get like the dimensions and everything right, and kind of like lay that out. So that's actually what I'm going to do for tomorrow. That'll be like my project. But I did go and check the lids and the tops. They're all dry. And then I have the two syrup things. But this is just pretty much a behind the scenes of like a DIY projects that I'm trying to do. I am very, very happy with this series. And I think it's going to do very well. Hey, so it is the additional day, the follow-up day. I know I'm going to be cut out of the screen of this scene, but I don't really need to be in it. So then I also got these, the caps, as you guys saw from yesterday. And these were kind of tricky because I had to make sure I got the top as well as the sides. So for the most part, I think I did a pretty good job. I did have to manually turn them. So some of them, like this one, they're not as black on the side. Some gray peeking out because these tops were originally gray. The insides are still gray, but I just really wanted the tops to be black. So majority of them came out pretty good. And if I do need a touch up, I can just get some black paint. But even this one, see how smooth this one is. There are a few that were kind of like this one kind of got a little hiccup on it. But it's just me. It's just my personal kitchen. So it doesn't have to be perfect. So like this one is a nice smooth application. Then on the side, I had to do quite a few passes. But it was just because, you know, once I touch one side, you got to make sure that the sides are like somewhat. I did a pretty good job. This is how it looks with the top on, the black top. It looks pretty well. Doesn't interfere with how it twists or anything. So this is the current cabinet space that I have. I've got just this tier thing that I got from Ross or somewhere. I don't have too many spices. I just have like my essential spices that I know I use. So obviously salt and pepper, garlic and herb, chopped chives, ground cinnamon, seasoned salt, Old Bay is back there, lemon pepper, just your typical, I guess, seasonings. That's what I have in here. So once I have those and the labels and everything on them, they will be right up in here. So I think they'll fit pretty well. And I thought about making the labels black, but I just figured since my cabinetry is already black, it's just, I could just leave the tops black because it might be too dark. Hey everyone, so it is probably a couple weeks later, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, since the last clip that you saw where I was working on the spice labels. I did mention that I started them. I was going to do them in Photoshop and Canva, and I decided to just finish them off in Canva since I had already started there. And also this would be easier for me to export and stuff for other purposes like template purposes and stuff, and easy for people to work with. So I want to show the one design, spice label design, that I was going to do based off of Pantone. So what I decided to do was call it Pantry, and it is the same type of layout for usual Pantone swatches, and I decided to just put the name of the seasoning as chili pepper, and then the actual like herb scientific name, and then the classification of the spice, so spice, herb, seasoning, stuff like that. And nothing will go in this part, as you guys saw with Pantone labels. It's just like that big block, and then the square, the rectangle at the bottom that has the swatch color and stuff like that. So granted, with this one you do see pantry first before you see the actual seasoning or herb name. So this is one design that I had, super excited about. And then the next one that I had, as I mentioned, was based off a design of a brand that I like their whole aesthetic. And it was based off of the Maison Margiela replica candle, and just like their brand in general, their branding. So what I decided to do was I did put replica at the top as well, like their labeling has. And then underneath it, I just put reproduction of essential herb spices and seasonings used for everyday cooking. So I've got, originally it's called cinnamon sugar classification, just like the different classifications, the origin, and then the ingredients. And then down here, I just have like the Maison Margiela logo, which accompanies all their labeling. But I wasn't really crazy about having that down there, since it's not like since it's like a parody product based off of the brand itself. So I made another version and I made it based off of McCormick. So as everyone knows, McCormick, they are the seasoning people. They make most of the ones you see with like I think it's like red branding or red bottle, and then the MC, and it's like blue in there as well. So same layout, just took out the Maison Margiela at the bottom and put McCormick. And I tried to put it in the same font as the Maison Margiela actual logo. It does look a little different because it's smaller, but I think I did a pretty good job. So those are the two labels that I created, and I did have to, of course, one thing with Canva is you do have to have some type of design knowledge, because I just made this completely from scratch just by eyeing it and eyeing like the typefaces. I had figured out which fonts they use, I downloaded them into Canva and stuff like that. So like I said, you do need to have some type of design eye when it comes to creating things from scratch in Canva. You can easily, grab something from over here, one of their pre-made designs, but these are already constructed very, very well. You can just like go in, pop in, change whatever you want, but you still need to have some kind of design aspect to like just know what you're doing, what you're looking at, what colors go well together, fonts, typefaces. You need to know alignment, hierarchy, a lot of different things that Canva doesn't really teach you based off of just their pre-made templates. So anywho, we are about to print these bad boys out and see how they look on the spice. I am super excited. So let's get to the print machine. One helpful tip when printing from Canva, make sure to either show your rulers and guides, show margins, and show print bleed. Show margins and print bleed are going to be very important for your design because you want to make sure that it's within the safe zone and the safe space and area to where it will not be chopped. Since I want this to extend, it gave me some more room. So as I mentioned about needing to add bleed marks and crop marks on your final file, so when this is printed out, due to the sizing as well as how the actual label is constructed, you'll know where to cut and what parts are bleeding over, so you don't mistakenly cut a piece of your design or kind of just print it to the full page and it's not full page. Like obviously these are quite a smaller size, so they won't need to be printed full page. So crop marks, bleed marks are extremely important. Please do not leave these out. All right, now we are ready to print. So changed my battery, but the labels printed out really nicely. They're so tiny, but obviously this is the size that it has to be for it to actually fit on the glass jars. Some of this, I think I'm pretty sure it's just my printer, but it's kind of like splotchy in some spots. So I might need to re-up on some black ink. And then over here, this one, I have my crop marks and everything. So I'm just going to take my X-Acto knife and take these out and actually place them on the bottles. The only thing I noticed is like, since this type and this font is quite small, actually printed, I might need to make, the titles and stuff a little better. Well, a little bigger. Let me see. Yeah, like, I mean, obviously this is cinnamon sugar, but I see replica first, obviously due to hierarchy, but I might need to make some adjustments. So we'll see. But I think they came out good. And this is just one whole piece. I'm just gonna use my X-Acto knife to get a more precise cut. And that should be it. Hello everyone. This is a totally different day. The next day, I have officially printed out the labels, the spice labels, the custom ones that I was making that I mentioned in the video after I did the bleed marks and crop marks and everything. I got them printed out and ooh, these are looking good. I am going to show you guys. So pretty much what I said about this series is it's called Aesthetically Speaking, and it's just where I'm going to replicate high-end brands for household items. So like that high-end look. Not necessarily like, I don't know, something that's very high. Like not, it's like a luxe high-end like brands mainly. So as you guys saw, my inspiration behind the spice labels was the Maison Margiela branding because I really like how theirs look, as well as the Pantone color swatches. So I did print out both versions of the label, and here is how they look. Ta-da! Now, let me turn on the brightness a little bit. All right, so this is how they came out. And this one right here, this is the Maison Margiela replica label. And I did not adhere them to the actual glass yet because I wasn't sure which, like, I guess which direction I really wanted to go in for my entire spice collection. And then here is the one for Pantone. So just disregard like some of the printer marks. My printer, I think I'm running low on black ink, So it might be some like print lines, but it has pantry. And you guys already know that I spray painted the tops of these so it can go with the actual, like, match the label. But let me just move this here and get some close-ups for you guys. All right, so off the bat, the McCormick Maison Margiela one is my favorite. I like how, I just like most of the information on it, how it just looks very, it's very detailed. It has the classification, the origin, stuff like that. My only critique for these labels before I print more to actually go in my seasonings is, I'm going to need to make the name of the actual spice or herb or seasoning bigger. So where you see cinnamon sugar, I want to make it maybe two more points bigger. I can read that it's cinnamon sugar, but it is quite small compared to the originally in the classification, like those header ones. And I want to make sure like I can actually read it, like, okay, I'm grabbing cinnamon sugar and I know which spice it is. This one is a very close runner-up. I think I have enough room to make like pantry bigger, the type of herb like chili pepper. I can make all that bigger. But if you guys know like the actual layout of the Pantone, it kind of looks like that already. Everything is kind of left, flush to the left. But yes, this one is by far my favorite. I just love how it came out. Like, I think it looks really good. I'm not gonna glue this one on because I need to adjust it for the cinnamon sugar, but I'm just like envisioning it in the cabinet with the rest of the seasonings and stuff. And it looks like, does Maison Margiela have freaking seasoning? I actually decided to move forward with this one. I'll show you guys how I fill up my spice jars and spice labels and seasoning. I'm not going to toss this one, however. I'm going to use it maybe for something else, but I'll see. I'll probably just sell the template on Etsy or something like that. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. In the next clip, I'll catch you guys there.